welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a little bit random. I figured I would show you guys the palettes that I have out for my holiday display. I have a few that I've taken upstairs, and I can tell you which ones those are, just because I have not been coming down here to do makeup much lately. I just haven't had time. And then I thought maybe I would show you a quick little what I made for my daughter's first grade class. I put like a small thing together for the kids, and then the teachers have a gift, so I'll see if I can get them out and I can show you, because she picked out ornaments for her teacher, her teacher's aide, the other aide that comes in and helps with reading, who was her kindergarten teacher's aide last year, so we're familiar with her, and then the security guard that is at the gate in the morning. So she picked out ornaments for them, and I wrapped those. So I thought that might be fun since I showed the stockings. I thought about filming what the kids got for Christmas, what I got the kids for Christmas, but I wrapped everything like 2 days before Halloween, so everything's been wrapped for a hot minute. But I can take apart the teacher's gifts, and the stuff for the students is just in like a grocery bag. So I figured I would show you that. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. If you're not new, I appreciate you coming back, and let's jump into the video. I'm trying to turn my soft box around because it is very dark in this corner. So these little things are the drawer stoppers for these big drawers, so when I took them out to film the declutter. So if you're wondering what those little things are, I haven't decided if I'm probably going to toss them because I don't have any of my other ones, but that's what those are. This is Laura Lee's little sleigh bell palette. I really like this. My friend Christine said that she was able to find one on Poshmark. So if you can find a used one, like mine is still good. Like there's some like bleeding that's occurred in the packaging, but I wish she would bring this back. It's a really good little palette, but it's just kind of hanging out here. I think I'm going to put it up here. The Christmas Eve palette is out. I have the Merry Christmas and then the Snowman one that my husband got me last year upstairs. But this one, I don't wear blues a ton, so those are there. And I just realized I don't have my Gourmand Girls like Silent Night palette. I have the Book of Magic, and then the one palette I have from Cosmic Brushes, the two Halloween Town, Christmas Town palettes. I left out the Autumn palette from Dee Dee's Signature. The Christmas Jingle Bell one that we got in the subscription box is upstairs, but this one's really pretty. And then I left the Cappuccino palette. I have my 3 Juvia's Place palettes, but that's only because I have not figured out what drawer those are gonna live in permanently. But I have the Orient Express from Nomad. There's 2 from Saints, Angels, and Sinners. There's the Friendsgiving and the Snow Globe palette. The Merry Christmas and the Sweet and Sticky from Give Me Glow. This little hearth from Chantico Beauty. Color Pops. Rudolph. And then if you guys want to see the insides of these, I can film that in a video. But the Cinnamon Swirl from Too Faced, Gingerbread Spice, and then the little ones, I have Secret Santa, Hot Buttered Rum, Christmas Coffee, Fruitcake, and then like the ET palette from Flower Beauty is still out. And then these are my, what is this, Game Beauty and the brand Fantasy Cosmetica palettes that I have from those brands are just hanging out. Again, I have not figured out what drawer, but let me go in here and figure out, because I just realized that the palette that looks like this from Gourmand Girls is not out. I had to rearrange these, and I don't know, like that is all Glam Light. What is in here? I feel like maybe it would be in here, but It's mostly Ace Beauté because I have a bunch. My really large Too Faced palette. Where would I? Oh, okay. Here we go. There's the Nightshade. This one, there is the Silent Night. I know when I set this up, I was thinking, I was like, I feel like I'm missing some palettes for Christmas, but again, this one looks very, very similar as far as color story to the other one up there, so we will put both of those out. I honestly don't know if I'm going to use any of those right now because, like I said, mainly I haven't even used the ones that I took upstairs. But yeah, let's meet at the table. I feel like I'm in a little bit of a filming rut. Like I have periods where I don't have a lot of ideas. I did get a request to do a skincare video, which I did as you're watching this, that is already up on my channel. So I appreciate who left that request because it's helpful because sometimes I do run out of ideas. So if you have any video requests, let me know and I can do them. But my area where all of our Christmas gifts are is super hyper organized. I always try to set it up in the event that something happened to me. Mike, my husband, could come down and figure out where the gifts for everybody are. I have them separated, like the stuff for us, stuff for our family. So I can take you in our spare bedroom right next door and kind of show you. And we can do that at the end. But this is my daughter's stuff for school. Again, it's like these are the teacher gifts. I have them in a separate box. I need to label. I didn't label this box. Normally I have all of the boxes labeled. Let's get the marker out and let me write on here. Teacher gifts. Because all the other boxes that are in there have, I'll write class gifts on here too. Because this bag is going to sit on top. Because like I said, I'd like to try in the event that something happened to me, Mike could come down because everything's wrapped. I wrapped everything like 2 days before Halloween. Mike could come down and like the Christmas Eve gifts for the girls are in a separate thing. So I'll show you that. Like I said, I always try to do it in the event that I wasn't here, something happened to me, Mike could still do Christmas for the kids. But there's 24 kids in her class. She goes to a private school, so the class is a little bit smaller, which is nice. But she did want to put a little tag with her name, who it was from, because we did some little treat bags for Halloween, and I don't think I put her name on them, but she did tell me she wanted her name on these. But I just got a pack of assorted, like, holiday ducks, and then I took like the curling ribbon that you use for like balloons and stuff, and then just attached them. These are the Hershey's mint chocolate candy canes, and then my mom gave me the gift tags, so the teacher can just throw one in everybody's bag on the last day of school before break. So they're all different. I don't think any two were exactly the same. So I mean, there's a bunch of different versions of ones with different Santa hats. And then like there's a unicorn one in here that's cute. But yeah, I just got a 24 pack of assorted ducks on Amazon and then ordered the, had the candy canes put in like my Walmart order and then just assembled the gift tags. I do have a little bit of like nerve damage. I'm hoping is temporary. So I was having like an off day. It took me like an hour to tie these. I did it the week I was homesick when I was like pre-filming. It took forever to tie these because I wasn't feeling good and then my hands were shaking really bad. So it took a lot longer than I feel like it should have, but I got it done. They're ready to go. And then here are the bags and they're all just tied, so I think I can take them apart. So I have cards and I did put on the card that Diana picked out the gift just because I let her go to Hobby Lobby. We went one day after Nutcracker practice. She is going to be a lamb in the Nutcracker this year. Last year she was a butterfly in one of the scenes. So she's in the scene with Little Bo Peep, who's one of the soloist parts, and then she's one of the 5 lambs. But we went after practice, and I let her go into Hobby Lobby, and they've got every ornament you could think of, and I let her pick. I told her who we were getting them for, and she got to pick them out. So Mr. Jesus, the security guard, this is the little ornament that she picked out for him. I've done, what have I done in the past? Like Mr. Jesus in the past, because she went to kindergarten there and she did pre-K. I've given him candy in the past. So I thought ornaments would just be a little bit easier. So I think the teachers, I've given gift cards before. I think we did ornaments for her teacher last year, because last year was the first year she was in the Nutcrackers, and she was super excited about it. So we gave her teacher and Mrs. Thompson, who is her reading helper, reading aid person this year, was her teacher aide last year. She gave her teachers Nutcracker ornaments last year. And I think I put like stuff to make hot cocoa or something. I tried to keep it a little bit smaller, so we just did the ornaments. Everything is so expensive, so I tried to. This is Mrs. Gist. This is the aide, her teacher's aide, classroom aide. So she picked out the strawberry Pop-Tart ornament. I told her she could, didn't restrict her, obviously, and I don't think there was any inappropriate ornaments, but that would have been the only. I told her she could pick out whatever she wanted. It was between this and the Cheetos one. So, and I think sometimes, you know, it could, I think she mainly picked out ones that she thought were cute and fun. But like Mr. Jesus is always smiling at the kids and waving and telling them good morning. So I think that ornament that she picked out for him suits him. Hopefully her teacher's aide likes Pop-Tarts. Mrs. Meyer is her teacher, so her first grade teacher. She was going to get a Nutcracker ornament for Mrs. Thompson, but like I said, we gave Mrs. Thompson one last year, so I told her to do the Nutcracker for Mrs. Meyer, and then she picked out a different ornament for Mrs. Thompson, because Mrs. Thompson helps with the, when you drop them off, opening the car doors, and then she's also Diana's extra reading helper. So this is the little Nutcracker that she picked out. And he's really cute. He's much more extra, I think, than the ones that I got from Walmart last year. But we went on one of the days when the ornaments were like 50% off. So it was a little bit cheaper. Like I said, we went after practice because we were like halfway into town already. We live kind of out on the outer edge of town, so the mall where the Hobby Lobby is like a good 20-25 minutes. So going after practice, we were like halfway there. And then Mrs. Thompson, like I said, was her teacher's aide last year, and she comes in and helps with the reading groups. And reading has been the area that Diana has struggled a little bit this year, so the extra help is helpful. But she picked out this really cute little flamingo ornament. So again, she was going to give this one to Mrs. Meyer, and I was like, well, since Mrs. Thompson already got a Nutcracker ornament from us, let's give Mrs. Thompson the fancy flamingo and give Mrs. Meyer the Nutcracker. Okay, so they're all in bags. Again, I taped a card to everybody's. And then they all fit in this box. To pack in there, and then the bag will go on top. So when I take it to school, oh, I did write teacher gifts on it. Look at me. I was going to say, that's weird that I wouldn't have written on the box. I did. It was up there. I couldn't see it. So there's the teacher gifts, and we will head into the other room. Okay. So my husband has his extra like ring lights in here for when he does tattooing, but it's a mess. Like, this is a spare room. We have like my parents' eBay stuff, extra things from upstairs. There was a bedspread and stuff on this bed, but Diana's birthday gifts. Her birthday's in February, but so here's the box. for the teacher. This is where I wrap, so you can see wrapping paper and things. So that box has my parents' gifts in it, as well as that's my friend who's my boss, and then the other lady that works with us. There's a card for her. I've only met her once, so I just got her a card with a gift card because I wanted to get her something. And then my in-laws, I need to write on this box, but grandma, my husband's grandma, so great grandma's gift, grandpa is in there, and I think my husband's best friend's gift is in the box with my parents. But then all the kids and Mike's are in a separate box. Everything's labeled, and I need to write, oh, I have the kids' gifts on there. They get a gift on Christmas Eve. Those are in a separate box. They get pajamas and usually some sort of stuffed animal. I like to get them some sort of pajama. So those are in that box. This box, and again, it has stockings written on it. So all of these bags are a stocking stuffer. So my in-laws, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, I did a video in where I showed everything. They don't fill their whole stockings. I kind of explained why I buy them stocking stuffers in that video, but all of our stockings, the dogs stuff that I got more recently, and then all the kit, like every bag has a name on it. So there's Emma's. Squeaky is our youngest, Mia, that's her nickname. And then the gifts from SANTA, so they've asked for roller skates. So there's the helmets, the pads, all the skates for the 3 kids are in there. And then they got an extra thing that will be from Santa. So the youngest 2 are going to get, like, one's a puppy doctor kit, one's a puppy groomer kit, and then Diana's getting a Squishmallow jewelry kit. So those will be from SANTA if you have little ears nearby. And so again, that is labeled, and he knows that that bag goes with it. I showed him, like I said, I need to write on this box. I said normally I do, so I'll label this box. But yeah, that way if he had to come down here, he could figure out relatively easily what's that's what. Kind of how I organize everything. Like I said, I try and separate it out just in the event that something happened, but also, like, it's easier when we bring stuff upstairs, because I don't put the gifts out under the tree until Christmas Eve, just because my kids are still small. When they get a little bit bigger, they're not as likely to pick in things, or I'm not as worried about them opening them randomly. I may put them under the tree earlier, but it's also kind of, it's tight under the Christmas tree and it's small. So I generally will leave the gifts for my parents and his parents and grandma in the boxes, and I'll put them in our room, and then just put the gifts for the kids and us, under the tree. And then after we've opened everything, because we usually open our stuff before anybody comes over, and then I will put out the next batch, or I'll just leave them in the boxes. I think last year I just left them in the box and put the box next to the tree, and then we weren't having to fish underneath, because I have many a memory of my mom stuffing all the way around under the tree and me having to climb under the tree to get the stuff out of the back, because my dad and mom did not want to climb under there on Christmas morning and get the stuff out. So I think that's partially because I've got, like, leftover PTSD, I guess, from doing that. So that way nothing's getting shoved, nothing's getting lost, because there was a couple of years after, like, I think it was still on Christmas Day, but like many hours later after gifts had been opened and I was like helping my mom clean, we would find a random gift for, like, one year it was one of mine, one year it was for, like, when my dad's parents were winter visitors and coming down. Like, there was a couple of times where a random gift got lost, or we knew on Christmas Day and I had to go again back under to fish around and try and figure out where said gift went. So I think in my effort to avoid that, I've tried to keep everything separated so we're not like, who's this gift for? Like, we know on Christmas morning the stuff that's under there is just for us, so it's less people to kind of worry about, and then the kids aren't getting overly excited and trying to open other people's stuff either. So it's just kind of streamlined it a little bit and made it easier. So that's the way I do it. Like I said, this is probably the earliest that I've ever bought everything and also had everything wrapped. I think last year I was able to get everything wrapped by November, but I did, because I had bought everything in July and everything showed up by mid-August. I had actually planned on wrapping things in September and just didn't get around to it. And so it was like 2 days before Halloween, 3 days before Halloween. I had some time when I was here by myself and the kids weren't here, so I just wrapped everything and then put the stocking stuffer things together. SANTA brings all of our stockings and then brings gifts for the kids. That's the way we do it in our house, but the stuff from him is not wrapped. My husband's family used to do it where on Christmas morning, all of the gifts would appear, and then some of the wrapped gifts were from SANTA, and then some of the wrapped gifts were from the family, which to me always seemed like kind of confusing. Like, my parents did it the way we did it, where there's 1 or 2 unwrapped things near the stockings, and then everything under the tree that's wrapped is from us. Like I said, to me, that's less confusing because my sister-in-law has opted to not do SANTA at all. Her kids are 5 and 3. So I think because, again, when they're all wrapped, it's confusing, and she wants the kids to be aware of that everything that's under the tree they bought. So like I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So like I said, I think the way we do it is a little less confusing. There's no right or wrong way. It just, that's how. So that's why that stuff is separated and not wrapped, because SANTA in our house doesn't bring wrapped gifts. They're unwrapped and they're near each kid's stocking. On Christmas Eve, when we put out the cookies and milk, we have them take their stockings off the wall because we don't have a mantle or a fireplace. And also, if we did, I probably wouldn't put them up just because, again, my kids are small and I have a phobia of them like pulling, because stocking hangers are weighty and getting broken, hurting themselves. So we have them just thumbtacked onto the wall near the dining room, which if you watched my Christmas decor video, you would see them. But we take them all off the wall. They get to pick out which couch they want to put them out. That way in the morning, they know where their stocking is, because the 2 youngest ones are still, like, they don't know how to read. So they know which one is theirs. They can put it in their designated spot. And then in the morning, when Santa has filled them and brought the present, they know where it is. So that's how we do it in our house. Let me know how that kind of thing worked in your house. I'm always curious to hear. And also let me know what Christmas traditions you guys do every year. Are there things that you guys do every year? I love hearing that stuff. And then, like I said, if you guys have any video recommendations, please leave them. Still in a little bit of a rut. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in another video. Bye, everybody.